Messi. Only player who likes to take more than one touch. Pedro. Xavi has it. There's a foul off the ball by Marcelo, acknowledged by the referee. Barca continue through David Villa, toe-to-toe with Ramos. Gets the cross in! 2-0 Barcelona! The flying Pedro!
Pep Guardiola. One of football's greatest ever minds, on par for many with the greatest managers in football. Sir Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger, Jose Mourinho. Many would even argue that he is the greatest manager to ever grace the game. Regardless of where you rank him in the all-time greats list, Pep is undoubtedly a football icon. After a successful playing career at Barcelona under Johan Cruyff, Pep briefly managed the Barcelona youth team, also known as Barcelona B, before he took over the first team in the 2008-09 season. He immediately shocked the football world when he announced that the team's star players like Ronaldinho, Deco, and Samuel Eto'o were not part of his plans. Regardless of the off-field drama, his impact was immediate as his team secured a continental treble, winning the La Liga, Copa del Rey, and the Champions League, famously beating Man United in the final. Pep secured this treble in his first season by playing the, quote, Cruyffian style of football, imposing complete control of the ball, moving it through the thirds, creating overloads and winning the ball high up the pitch. The Spaniards called this juego de posición, but the idea was not to keep possession for possession's sake. It was based on combinations, passing triangles, quick movements, and the idea was always to have control while overloading the opponents. It was arguably the best football we have ever seen, played by some of the greatest footballers we have ever seen. Lionel Messi, Xavi, Andres Iniesta, Sergio Busquets, Carles Puyol. This was the Avengers assembled in football. But a key part of Barcelona's success under Pep was the innovative tactical approach that they had to the game. He popularized the use of the false nine striker, famously using Leo Messi in that role, box midfields, halfbacks. Yes, we've seen these tactics before, but arguably his iteration, his approach, his application of these tactics was the most successful. His innovative approach to the game followed him to Bayern Munich, where he introduced the use of inverted fullbacks using Philipp Lahm, one of the greatest right backs ever, and Joshua Kimmich in that role. The trend continued at City, where he used Gabriel Jesus and Sergio Aguero in a false nine role, Joao Cancelo as an inverted fullback, and most recently he's been deploying John Stones and later on Manuel Akanji as a libero, which is a throwback to the legendary Franz Beckenbauer and Franco Baresi. Pep didn't invent any of these tactics, but he has popularized them, using them to great effect, allowing him to win 2 continental trebles, making him the only manager to do so, and adding many more accolades to his name. But what made his Barcelona team in particular so beautiful and entertaining to watch? It was the diversity in the game. The biggest teams in the world all had their own styles of play. Sir Alex Ferguson's Man United played a brilliant attacking transitional style of football. Arsene Wenger combined flair and youth with an intricate possession-based style of play at Arsenal. Jose Mourinho at Chelsea and Inter Milan played a disciplined, structured kind of football. Real Madrid, with the likes of Cristiano and Kaká among others, playing some beautiful attacking football. And Pep played his juego de posición. It is these distinct styles of play from one another that made these teams so successful and really entertaining to watch. You often see people reminiscing about how good football used to be back in the day and how entertaining games used to be, whereas now you can barely sit through 90 minutes of a match without falling asleep. But why is this? What happened to the game? Why is it so robotic and monotonous and boring to watch? Well, the answer is simple. Every team wants to be Man City and every coach wants to be Pep Guardiola. Every team wants to play the same way. Every team wants to invert their fullbacks and have their center backs step up. Every team wants to play with a false nine, although that trend has now passed, but you see the point. Every team wants to replicate what Pep Guardiola does, and in a way, I can understand this, because we've seen how successful Pep has been with this specific style of play, but it has never been the same, has it? It's always evolving. The general idea and principles are the same, but the execution and the application is different. He started off with false nines at Barcelona, inverted fullbacks at Bayern Munich, now liberos in Man City, a combination of all three in Man City. You can see that there is now a meta in football. That's the issue, and the meta is the Guardiola way. Play like Pep and you will win. It's simple. Vincent Kompany, one of the greatest defenders of his generation and a disciple of Pep, once said that the Premier League is now full of cyborgs and robots. We used to see goals and shots from outside the box more, flary wingers dribbling past several players, but now every team wants to pass the ball around cautiously and just patiently look for an opening. You don't see players take the game by the scruff of the neck anymore. Take a look at Jack Grealish, for instance. He was such a free, technical, flary, dribbly kind of player when he was at Aston Villa. But then he joined Man City, and now he's a ball retention piece. All he is required to do, and all he does, is keep the ball and not lose it. You rarely see him do what he used to do in his Villa days, take his man on, attempt to dribble past players. Mostly, he just passes the ball back to his fullback. Take a look at Burnley, Southampton and Ipswich. All three of these teams want to play like Man City, controlling the possession, dominating the ball, but never executing it properly. Ipswich are somewhat of an anomaly here, having played it to a better extent than the other two teams. Burnley tried to play exactly like Man City last season and they went back down. And now this season, looking at the three promoted teams, Ipswich, Southampton and Leicester, the first two play a possession-based style and they haven't won a single game this season. Higher up the table, let's take a look at Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. He has created an amazing team based on the exact same model that Pep used when they worked together in Man City. Let's take a look at the 22-23 season for Arsenal, where they mounted a proper title challenge and almost won the trophy after 20 years. Zinchenko played an inverted left-back role exactly like Joao Cancelo did from left-back. Gabriel Jesus played a false nine role, which is the exact same role he used to play for Man City. So you see how even Mikel Arteta tries to replicate the things that Pep Guardiola does. Arsenal have managed to build a very good team over the last few years, but they don't have a trophy to show for it. Whenever they play City, whenever Arsenal and City go head to head, we should be excited, right? We should be expecting a battle that would have serious implications in the title race, but often it's just so boring to watch. It's a, quote, tactical chess match. It's almost like both teams just try to match each other band for band and just end up with a draw, and it's really boring to watch. So who's to blame for all of this? Who's to blame for the robotic, monotonous, cyborg nature of the game these days? Most people blame Pep for this, but is it his fault the managers want to copy him? If they want to copy his successful formula? You can't blame the man for having an idea of playing football, can you? It's not like he came out and said, this is the way to play football. It's not like he came out and encouraged all managers to play the same style of football. He just does what he believes in, and he's successful at it. So why is he blamed for it? Well, he is the face of this juego de posición approach. And in the media, in the press, and everywhere else, you see that Pep's style of play is the only way to play football. So if you play another style of football, like maybe a defensive and counter approach or a transitional game, you will be criticized heavily. Imagine Southampton playing City at the Etihad and trying to go band for band on the ball, like trying to control the game. It's just a recipe for disaster. But take a look at Arne Slot's Liverpool, for instance. A possession-based team that also combines flair and attacking freedom, playing some brilliant flowing football. Take a look at Chelsea, really entertaining to watch. They are a free-flowing team, scoring goals to the left, right and center. But they are also a possession-based team. Some way down the table, we see smaller teams having their own approach to the game, combining different styles of play to be successful. I mean, this shows that you can absolutely be successful without copying Man City exactly band for band. You can learn things from Pep, yes, you can take some of his ideas, but you don't have to play exactly like Man City. In this robotic, boring era of football, coaches like Xabi Alonso and Hansi Flick are a breath of fresh air. Alonso won the Bundesliga with Leverkusen last season, playing different styles of football. I mean, at times they controlled the game, at times they played transitional, at times they defended and countered. And it worked. They won the Bundesliga. And now at Barca, you see how Hansi Flick is revolutionizing the general idea of football in Spain with this brilliant, free-going, flary attacking football. I mean, in Spain, in Barcelona particularly, you are expected to control the game, to control the ball, like play exactly like Johan Cruyff used to and play exactly like Pep used to do. But now Hansi Flick is imposing his ideas, his attacking approach to the game, and it's working. We are seeing wingers take their man on now, dribbling past 3-4 players, playing freely on the wing. Think of Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams, Luis Diaz, even Savinho at Man City of all teams. More and more fans across the world are looking to the past for entertainment, to enjoy football by reminiscing about how it used to be. But it's an unfortunate conundrum, isn't it? It seems like to win and to be successful, you supposedly need to play exactly like Pep. But we've seen Arsenal play exactly like Pep and it never worked out, did it? We see other teams trying to replicate exactly what he does and he always comes out on top. So is the formula really replicating exactly what he does? Shouldn't there be room for your own creativity, for your own ideas? Should you copy Pep exactly? The conundrum, sadly, is that you need to play like him to win these days. But that means if you play exactly like Pep, you let go of the entertainment factor that you get from your team, the excitement that you get. So it's a trade-off, like what will it be? Will it be trophies or will it be entertainment? Or is there somehow a way to combine the two and play like he used to be in the years gone by? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching and I'll catch you guys in the next one.